Hello, I'm Father Bill Watson. I'm president and founder of the Sacred Story Institute, and this is a discernment brief. Welcome to Discernment Briefs. We're going to be looking at two benchmarks that are very important for spiritual direction. We can collaborate with spiritual entities that lead us to an immortality of friendship and joy, or an immortality of loneliness and despair. God has gifted us with spiritual radar to help us follow the path to eternal joy and to reject the path of eternal loneliness. You have a radar for joy. This first benchmark strategy for spiritual discernment is to help your awakening and initiation into spiritual discernment. The two benchmark guidelines will be beneficial in many life situations. You have already been exposed to them in your life, but now you will focus on them in a very conscious way. As I lead you through this work, through these exercises, through these lessons, I want to speak a truth that has taken me a very long, hard time to accept. And that truth is that spiritual consolation doesn't always feel good. It's hard work sometimes. It can feel like a struggle sometimes. That's okay. Equally important to know is that spiritual and holy inspirations or spiritual desolation does not always feel bad. Temptation and evil can, strangely enough, feel good, and that's not okay. We will explore this seeming paradox in a later exercise. For now, it's important and sufficient to reflect on the two principal benchmark guidelines. Understood and followed, they will help you direct your authentic human nature towards God and away from human nature's enemy in thoughts, in words, and in deeds. Here's benchmark 1. Authentic divine energy inspirations, called consolations, will have specific features. Consolations will increase your heart's love for God, for family, and for other people. They will increase the virtues of humility and self-generosity and gratitude. And these consolations will not oppose the truths and teachings of Scripture, the tradition, or the teaching church. Consolation can be the consequence of divine physician spirit working inside of you. This form of consolation helps strengthen your heart and soul, encouraging you to turn to God whenever you need spiritual and moral help. Consolations will help you to choose thoughts, words, and deeds that express your authentic human nature, your truest self made in the divine image. Consolation can be the result of your divinely shaped human nature expressing itself through daily life. God created your human nature, body and spirit, as a gift in the divine image and likeness. In spite of original sin's impact, cooperating with God's grace activates embedded life forces of your divinely shaped human nature. These embedded strengths can help you biochemically strengthen your immune system and reset psychological and emotional imbalances, energize you, and enable thoughts, words, and deeds that express your authentic human nature. So here's a reflection question. Pray to the divine inspirer to have your memory energized. Ask for the grace to remember one time that your love for God and or other people was stirred up inside of you. What was the context? Remember and briefly write that context and that experience in your journal. Here's an example. I remember on a retreat we had a mass that made me feel part not just of the retreat group, but of something much bigger. To me, that was a time I really felt God and really felt great about the whole world. Then ask for the grace to remember that one time that you were inspired to be humbler and more self-giving to others. What was the context? Remember and briefly write the context and the experience in your journal. Here's another example. I remember when I won a contest and my closest friend lost. I knew how I would feel if I had lost, and I asked my friend to share the prize with me. Ask for the grace to remember one time when you were inspired to follow the teachings of the church, its traditions, that stirred your faith, your hope, and your love. What was the context? Remember and briefly write that in your journal. Here's an example for this. I read an article about how marital fidelity strengthens both husband and wife and gives their children more hope and security in support of church teaching on marriage. I decided that I would make fidelity a conscious spiritual goal for my life and to pray that this gift would be given to us in our family. We can collaborate with spiritual entities that lead us to an immortality of friendship and joy, or an immortality of loneliness and despair. God has given us spiritual radar to follow the path to eternal joy and to reject the path of eternal loneliness and death. Briefly at the end of this, review these examples and exercises for your own spiritual growth. God bless you. This has been Father Bill Watson for Sacred Story Institute with a Discernment Brief. And if you like this, please subscribe to our channel. God bless you.